5 Merlin modules here, who takes care of the entire production, right? So let's begin. Just an overview of the presentation. We would be quickly starting with Vari, so that I mean, most of us or most of you should know what Vari is. For those of who doesn't know, we'll just give you a brief outline and introduction. After that, we'll quickly jump into Merlin. What Merlin is, what are its advantages, how does it differ from the regular 5 bus bar typical module or typical cell what you see. And then we would quickly jump on to what are the reliability and performance comparisons. We have done a lot of testing, lot of trials onto the module before putting them onto the field. And there were a lot of different tests which were some which you do not usually see in the modules. So we would show you a glimpse of a few testings what we have done, and then very quickly we would move on to EV modules. Right, we would show you applications, and one of the application which we proudly boast is applying them onto EVs or applying them onto vehicles which can enable possibly EVs in the future, right? And then we would also show you few innovative installations where probably which after seeing you could see that your regular module is not able to fulfill such requirements. And finally, we would just give you conclusions and then open the floor for Q&A, right? For Q&A, what you can do is you can type in all your questions in the chat box. I think if you're connected through your phone or your laptop, you can see a chat option, right? You can put in or you can type in all your questions there. And at the end, we would just quickly go through the questions. Just a request, please keep yourselves on mute. Do not keep your video on so that we can save bandwidth and everyone who is joining in can hear what we are speaking, right? So let's begin. And just one more thing, because this is a technical presentation, we would like you to keep or post your questions strictly at technical level, right? We'll be answering only those questions which are technical in nature, right? So let's begin. Okay, this is what Vari is. This is what we are. We have been in the industry for last 32 years. We are currently at 2 gigawatts. We will be quickly jumping into 5 gigawatts, making ourselves one of the leading solar PV module manufacturers in the country. We have supplied more than 3.5 gigawatts of module globally. We have been in the Bloomberg tier 1 list for more than 20 plus quarters now continuously, right? We have our products which are exported to more than 68 countries worldwide. And we are amongst the company which has one of the fastest growing rate. The CAGR is close to 30%, right? This is what our portfolio looks like. Our primary business or our primary business comes in from solar modules, right? But other than that, we also have module mounting structures. We have a well-versed EPC team which sits in Mumbai. We do all kinds of solutions, right from rooftop to utility scale. We also have done a few floating solar installations. One of the trademark installation was here in Surat. It was a 1 megawatt power plant, right? We do have both on-grid and off-grid inverters. There are also a few solar products, water pumps, street lights, few more products where we supply our modules and we give a full solution to. We also have started an innovative concept of solar partners. So the entire idea of our CMD, Dr. Hitesh Doshi, was to get the solar modules or the entire solar PV solution right to the lengths and breadths of the country. That's why we have more than 375 solar partners which are located each and everywhere. So I mean, wherever a sales manager or the sales executive of Vari cannot reach, we do have our franchisee or solar partners which can very well help you and assist you. So this is for the last mile connectivity, right? These are the photographs of our plant. We have a fully automated plant. The line is capable of producing both bifacial and half cut cell modules. The new lines what we would get would also be able to handle all the modules right from M6 to M10 and M12, right? We also have a state-of-art laboratory. It's an NABL approved and accredited lab. So not only we can do all our testings there, but we can also act as a third-party tester, and we can actually do testings for customers as well, for external customers, right? Yes, so this is what the organogram looks like. We have two plants, one in Surat, where I sit, 500 megawatt, one more 1.5 gigawatt in Tum, Gujarat, which is somewhere in between Surat and Mumbai. Then we have third plant coming in of 3 gigawatts in total, which is between Surat and Tum, Surat and Vapi, right? Yes, so this is the testing facility what I was talking to you about. It's a CTF, customer test facility. It's approved by IACCB, right? And you can see the kinds of testings and the instruments what we have are all in line with the international laboratories. And we are the only ones here in the country, at least, to have such well-equipped instruments. This is just a glimpse of the instruments. I mean, there are a lot more additions now, right? All right, I think I don't have to focus more here. You name the bank, and they have financed our modules somewhere at some place and some time. A list of customers, you name it, you name the EPC, and we have it. This is a domestic list. This is the international list, right? All right, this is the map of the world where we have green and we have supplied the modules. Of course, the entire idea is to make the entire world green, but that's the plan, right? Yes, this is the franchisee model what I was talking to you about earlier. You can just go to our website and you can click on the district, state, and probably you can find a franchisee or a solar experience center right near, right? So we'll quickly jump on to the technology. Right, so these are the modules. These are the Merlin modules, or this is the on the extreme left hand. You can see Merlin cell. Just a second, let me just. Yes, can you? I hope you can see my pointer, right? Yes. So on the left, what you see is the Merlin cell. This is the gridded cell where we attach a flexible grid on the top and a mesh at the bottom, right? And this is how the modules look like. So the photo here shows that you can twist, you can bend the module, and you can see this module is completely circular in nature. Or this is in fact to show you that even if we bend the modules completely at say 180 degrees, nothing happens, right? So where does all this come from? This comes from the trademark or the patented grid, what you are seeing here, and of course the back mesh here. So the grid here on the top of the cell gives Merlin its flexibility, right? And the mesh here is something which gives the cell mechanical integrity, right? All in all, what we have is, yes, this is how the cell and the grid looks like. So this is the separated view. So what happens is when you compare this to your regular fibers-by cell or a fibers-by module, you only have close to 100 contact points on the front when we talk about fibers per cell, and you have close to 20 or 25 odd contact points at the back side of the cell. But then when we look at Merlin, this is basically a multi-bus bar cell. We have close to 20 bus bars here, and we also have this interconnects which are S in nature. I hope you can see this S here, right? So all in all, we have 1,000 contact points at the front. And this grid is, of course, flexible in nature, which gives the cell its flexibility. The back mesh is basically a mesh, right? This improves mechanical integrity, and we have close to 100 contact points at the back. So now what happens is that at any point of time, right, if we have a breakage, the primary advantages of all this is even if in case you have a crack or a micro crack, there is always a point of escape for electron, so that the excited electron is not going back, but is rather collected efficiently and powers the external circuit, right? Other than that, we also have various advantages, what we'll see when we go through. But then 2 or 3 typical advantages are that in your regular cell, when you compare your regular fibers bar cell and to the Merlin cell, the silver consumption is actually lower, which reduces the cost of at least manufacturing the cell, right? All in all, this is available in monoperc, which is the current offering, and HJT cells also. The offering would also be applicable and available in HJT cells, right? When we do a quick comparison, what happens is that when we are comparing a flexible module here and a regular fibers bar 72 cell module. So what happens is that because this is flexible in nature, this does not have glass on the front, but this has a flexible polymer at the front side. And then you also do not have the frame, which holds the entire standard module together, right? So when we do a quick comparison, a standard module is somewhere close to 21 or 23 odd kgs in weight. But then when we compare that to Merlin 72 cell module, it is only 8.5 kgs in weight, right? So this means that this module is 60% lighter, right? Let's go ahead and understand when we say Merlin is reliable, let's go and understand how reliable is this. So we'll show you a list of tests that we have conducted on this modules. And these are not regular tests. These are not listed anywhere in any standards, right? This is just to showcase the capability of Merlin. I think these tests were conducted on one of the first few modules which were manufactured. You can see that the modules are bent here. We had a rod like structure and we bent the modules completely, right? What you can see is that this is the EL image. EL image is basically an electroluminescence image, which is essentially equivalent to the X-ray of our body. The X-ray essentially gives, wherever we have cracks or wherever we have micro cracks at your bone, that is something X-ray can give, right? So you can relate an EL image to the X-ray of your body, because we'll be seeing a lot more EL images when we go ahead, right? So we had bent this module. You could see that this is post lamination, which means that this is immediately after the module was made. You can see that there were, of course, some cracks during manufacturing, but then post bending. So after you bent the module, what we found out was that there were no new cracks developed, and whatever cracks were there in the module were not propagated anywhere in any forms, right? The power output almost remained same, right? It was 132 watts before and 132 watts after. Let's move ahead. So this is again one more installation where we had attached this Merlin module 2x8 or 2x12 kind of matrix to a aluminum sheet, right? We moved, or we attached this to the sheet, and this entire sheet was sent through a roll forming tool. So what happens is that when you have to create a bond between this module and this aluminum section, for testing, we had sent this to the entire roll forming tool. So roll forming tool is essentially a tool wherein you have two rollers on top and the bottom, which are moving in opposite directions, say clockwise and anti-clockwise, and this entire solar panel structure or this assembly was moved through it, right? So what we see is that, of course, because those were rolling forming tool, we had a lot of micro cracks being developed, which were not there before. But the thing what we have to notice here is that after testing, the power degradation was only close to 11 odd percentage, right? If you have been in the field of solar PV, and if you see a module like this in your regular 5BB crystalline, regular 5BB monoperc or regular 5BB poly module, you would essentially know that if you have so many cracks on your module, the power output would straightly be 0 watt. You would not get anything in your PVPM or your flasher, right? This was basically because Merlin has a lot of current collection points, which I told you earlier on the top and the bottom. So any electron which is generated, say if you have a crack at this point, right? If the module is even if the cell is completely cracked, it will not get detached from the top and bottom mesh or the grid. And that means that you have efficient current collection and efficient current passing through the cell, which is again transferred from junction box to the load, right? Let's go ahead. I think this was again one of the first few modules, and this is the extreme testing what we had done, right? You can see that this is pre-test. So this is how the EL image looked in actual before testing. The test included throwing these Merlin modules up onto the ground. We had hit these modules against the wall. There was severe bending what had happened. We had even people in the plant who were walking actually on the modules, right? After that, of course, we expected the module to be completely cracked, or cells to be completely cracked. So there were a lot of kind of cracks. I mean, there were spider cracks, there were V chips, there were U chips which were formed onto the entire module. But interestingly, what had happened was that the power degradation was only 23%, right? This proves that the modules which are made from Merlin cells can withstand vibrations, can withstand all the kind of loads which a regular module cannot, right? Just a quick comparison between Merlin and 5-busbar module. So why we are showing this, that is because we have seen currently or off lately in the market, there are certain module manufacturers or certain product integrators who are actually giving 5-busbar cell based flexible modules. So while they can be applied essentially at places which are stationary, say for an example, if you have a roof which is not able to accommodate your regular module, you may apply a 5-busbar flexible module there. But then when you have moving applications, or where you have or the applications involve more vehicle or certain applications which are essentially not stationary, right? First. Second, you also have places where you have hail hitting the module continuously. You have severe hailstorms, or you have severe storms where you can stones or certain small sand grains can hit your modules continuously. In places like those, this module may not be completely applicable, right? So that's where we thought that this test is actually essential, important, right? So what we did was, we made two modules. We made one module out of 5-busbar, and we made a similar module out of Merlin cells, right? We had tested those modules where they were subjected to certain vibrations, again similar to what I showed you in the last slide, right? What we could see is that a 5-busbar module had a reduction in power output of 13 or close to 14%. But then when we compare it to the flexible modules which utilizes Merlin, the power degradation was only close to 2%, right? Which means that there is efficient essential current collection, right? We have also seen these modules being utilized in transportation sector. There the application is not stationary. You have moving vehicles there. The vehicle is subjected to continuous vibrations. We really don't know where the vehicle is moving, and we really cannot assume the road to be continuously smooth or ensure that the vehicle is only moving on the highway, right? That means that the vehicle and the module, of course, is subjected to continuous vibrations, right? Going ahead, I'll also show you how these modules have been applicable in the vehicle, right? And how does the module actually apply onto the vehicle, right? Right, so this is all in all the entire comparison of what Merlin looks like, and when you compare this to your regular busbar based flexible module, and of course the flexible thin film modules, right? While the table is very clear, one of the most, or the thing what I like here is that we all know that the thermal cycling is between -45 to +85 or -40 to +85 degrees Celsius, right? What we have seen is that Merlin, with by utilizing Merlin, you can have, we have tested these modules from -140 to 142 +140 degrees Celsius, and this makes it uh, suitable or applicable for space-based applications, right? Second, mechanical vibrations. We already saw in the last few slides that Merlin cell, with utilizing Merlin cell, the module is very well able to generate power even when the silicon cells are cracked, right? When you compare it to your busbar based module, they are very well prone to damage. Initially, you could really have a damage, power degradation between 30 to 50%, but all in all, say after 6 months to 1 year, we can be sure that the module will almost be producing no power, or even if it does, the power output would hardly be 5 or 10%. That means that if you're utilizing for a station for a moving application, uh, busbar or 5 busbar based module may be useless to you after a year, right? uh, we had also done damp heat of this flexible module and compared it to the busbar based flexible module. What we could see is that the Merlin flexible module was easily able to survive 2500 hours in damp heat, but most of the commercial panels were damaged in less than 100 hours, right? And just to repeat, this is for flexible busbar based modules, right? So all in all, we understand how Merlin is capable and what are the advantages of Merlin, right? Yes, absolutely. So let's move ahead. And this is one of my favorite slides. I mean, we don't have to give you any explanation here, but just by looking at the photos, you can understand where all Merlin has been applied, right? I'll leave the photographs to you, and I mean you can look at the photographs yourself. But what I can explain you, or what I can tell you is that application of Merlin modules is also very easy. We provide you a double-sided tape which is stuck on the backside of the module. This is more of a peel and stick application, right? We have a butyl tape which is applied on the backside, which comes right from our factory. What you have to do is you have to just peel the sticker off, and you have to stick it on top of the application, right? It can either be near the windshield, it can either be near the mirror where you have this curvilinear nature, right? You can also stick it on top of your vehicle, right? And let me remind you, the life of the butyl or life of the tape is exactly equivalent to the life of your module, right? So that means that you do not need to be worried about butyl tape coming out. What we have done is we have tried sticking the module, or we have stuck the module in the field, on the wall, on the vehicle top, and we tried removing the module, right? The module did not come out. There were severe cracks on top of the module, there were serious degradation on the module, but the module did not come out. That means that the bond between the butyl tape and the module is very well strong, right? Right. So let's go ahead. We'll take each application one on one, and then I'll try explaining you where these modules were applied on different kinds of electric vehicles. Right. Let's go ahead. Right. So here is one of the applications. So this was one of the applications in USA, where the bus driver or the AC bus was continuously starting and stopping, right? At vehicles or at signals where the vehicles stop, this bus was not able to stop. So I mean, the engine was not turned off, because the air conditioned inside would again be turned off, right? So that's wherein the vehicle driver was approaching few module manufacturers to understand if they could apply their modules on top of the bus, and all in all, the battery can be kept in charging mode, but the bus can be off, right? So what happened was, after probably visiting 2 or 3 odd manufacturers in US, they had come to Merlin. Initially, we had 2 buses which were solarized by Merlin panel, right? And the results were right in front of us. I mean, within 2 or 3 days, what had happened was that this Merlin panels, or this panels with one module being of 330 watts and a total of 990 or almost 1 kilowatt roof, the HVAC was kept running with for 3 hours with the engine being totally off. So this meant that for 180 minutes, the vehicle can be stationary, right? But then the HVAC was continuously kept running, right? Second and the most important advantage is that the vehicle did not need any jump start, right? So now at the places like USA, in Canada, or even in India, in North India or Northeast India, where you have continuous snowfalls in winter, the problems of battery requiring jump start are not very unusual, right? But then in this case, because you had a solar panel which was continuously trickle charging the battery, the bus or the vehicle did not need any jump start, right? Let's go ahead. This is again one more vehicle. These are more commonly known as reefer trucks or cold chain storage solutions, where the truck or the vehicle transfers dairy product or poultry product from one place to another, right? What was happening was, if these distances were more, so for an example, if the person had to travel from, say, X location, say Ahmedabad in Gujarat to Mumbai in Maharashtra, the distance between these two is roughly close to 500 kilometers. So for the entire journey, what was happening was that even if the vehicle was stopped for a minute, which is practically not possible, I mean, the driver or even the fleet owner would essentially want at least 1 or 2 breaks, would essentially take 1 or 2 breaks. At that point of time, he had to continuously keep the engine running, because it was via the engine that the battery was being powered, which was able to run this air condition, right? So what was happening overall was that in this entire run, they were utilizing a lot of fuel, or they were consuming a lot of fuel. That's where the vehicle owner approached us. I think this was a 20 or 24 feet vehicle, where we had installed a solar solution, or we had installed this module, right? What we found out that all in all, for the entire year, I think this project had run for close to an year, and we got close to 4 lakh rupees savings in fuel per year, right? Second, and the most important, of course, it eliminated jump start. Third point was that when we look at the battery life cycle, what happens is that when you deep discharge the battery, say to 20 or 30%, and then when you start charging the battery, what happens is that the number of life cycle, or the number of times when the battery can charge and discharge, was essentially reduced, right? With applying solar modules, or with applying Merlin modules on top of this vehicle, what was happening was we were also able to extend the battery life by 15%, 50%. That's because the battery was continuously in the charging mode, right? These trucks were not only running on highway bus, but because this trucks or this such solutions need end-to-end mile and last mile connectivity, these trucks were going on to small villages, to very, very small districts. So in the module was, or the solution essentially was able to survive all those vibrations, meaning that the modules were rugged in nature. These are already tried, tested, and trusted in USA. It's only the matter of time when people start understanding this application, and this starts uppicking here in India, right? Right. Okay. So this is again an example. Usually, what happens is that when you have a cloudy day, of course, when you have a sunny day, your module is able to generate power output essentially close to 4 or 4.5 units per day, right? But then when you have cloudy day, what happens is that essentially you do not have direct irradiance falling on top of the module, or whatever direct irradiance is there, they are not able to excite the electrons essentially in your solar module, right? But then with the module utilizing Merlin solar cells, what was happening was that essentially with all those enhanced current collection points, the solar cells or the solar module was essentially able to collect all the electrons which were generated, right? And you have the results right in front of you in the two graphs. We had 80% of power being generated when you compare a sunny day to a cloudy day, right? And when we have when we do comparison of a 5 busbar module at such cloudy days, the module is only able to generate 40 or 30 between 35 and 45 odd percentage of power, right? So that's wherein you can see, or you can utilize the advantage of Merlin, right? I think this is one more application where Vari is working upon. We e-rickshaws are something which most of you have seen. They are a very, very common mode of transportation. If you have been to Delhi, you sure have seen electric rickshaw. Even in parts of Kolkata, there is a lot of e-rickshaws which are running now, right? So what we did was we had solarified the entire roof of e-rickshaw, and you would see that module just right in the next slide, right? What we did was that we had first tried this solution on lead acid battery based e-rickshaw, and we had got a enhancement in power range which was about 40%, right? Yes, and this is the entire module. This is what the module looks like. Well, these are three different modules which are connected in series. This is module 1, this is module 2, and this was module 3, right? What I can tell you from my experience is that there is no module manufacturer, at least known to me, which can provide you module which are of this shape, right? Second, and the most important advantage is that these modules were connected in series. So module 1, module 2, and module 3 was connected in series with each other. And a thumb rule of series connecting solar module is that if you do not have same current output from the module, you cannot essentially connect those modules in series, because you would obviously have mismatch losses, and your module, you would essentially generate hotspots, and the module's reliability would be compromised, right? But then here, with the help of our entire team, the R&D team and the Merlin team, we were able to design a module in such a way that we had same current output from this, right? So meaning that, say for an example, this module was able to generate 7 amps. Similarly, this and this module was similarly generating 7 amps from it. The only difference was there in the voltage, right? So essentially, the entire point is that whatever requirement is there, which your regular module cannot fulfill, you can always come to us demanding such typical modules where you really cannot have, or you really cannot essentially have a solution. Merlin can be completely customized based on your requirements. So say if you need a 100-watt panel, you have a voltage requirement of 50 volts and 2 amperes, voila, Merlin can do it. If you have a voltage requirement of 25 volts and 4 amperes current, voila, Merlin can again do it. You have 8 amps and 12.5 volts requirement, Merlin can again do it. So there is nothing which is impossible, which you would have obviously seen in the last few slides, right? You have seen there are different shapes and sizes of Merlin panels, right? Coming back to this solar powered e-rickshaw again, this rickshaw is up and running here in Surat. This rickshaw has now run for more than 2000 odd kilometers, and they have only charged this rickshaw probably 6 or 8 times with grid, right? And the extra for 1500 kilometers, obviously it was not even charged by grid, but it was during this sunny days where the battery had completely drained out and there was no sunlight to charge the battery. That's wherein we had charged the rickshaws externally. So all in all, you can just, this is a fit and forget kind of module. You just fit the modules on top of your e-rickshaws and you forget. You really don't need anything, right? So these are basically not auxiliary sources of power, but these are essentially acting as main source of your power output, right? Well, we will quickly move on to installations, and I'll explain you what each installation was, right? So you can essentially imagine or understand how difficult or how hard or what were the challenges with each and every installation, right? This is one of the first installations what we did with Merlin module here in India, where this was done on a Swaminarayan temple here in Surat, Gujarat, right? This was on their school. The roof was completely made of aluminum. The school was of 13 floors, right? And this aluminum roof had no understructure at all, or there was very minimal understructure to tell you, right? Uh, and there was nothing on beneath it, right? So we had this aluminum roof, we had a brief understructure or a very minimal understructure, and then directly looking down, when you break it, we directly had the ground floor, right? So there was technically no module which can accommodate or which can be installed in this, right? Even if you have a non-penetrating roof, when you have a solar module weighs 20 to 23 odd kgs. You take understructure weight to be close to 10 or 12 odd kgs. You have 40 or 45 odd kgs of weight per meter square or per 2 meter square, right? But then when you compare it to the Merlin module, you really don't have anything. You only have a 8.5 kg module. Beneath it, you have a peel and stick application based butyl tape. You just peel the tape off, you clean the aluminum structure. Of course, pre-cleaning is something which is needed so that you have essential good bonds. You have good bond between the tape and the aluminum roof, right? And then you just stick the module on top of it, right? So this was a 36 kilowatt, 30 plus, yes, 36 kilowatt plant, and the installation was done in record 12 hours time. So, well, you know that if you have a solar module and you have to install a 36 kilowatt plant as a EPC or as a system installer, you know how much time it would take, right? So this installation was just done in 12 hours. I mean, that shows how easy it is to install this Merlin modules, right? I don't have to explain you anything here. I mean, the entire slide is self-explanatory. You have a roof, you need to install Merlin modules, and voila, you have an integrated roofing solution. You have the modules which are completely taking the shape of your roof. And down here, you can see that this was, if I'm not mistaken, this was not in India, obviously. This was in US, if I'm not mistaken. This roof was essentially powering a charger, and was an electric vehicle. I don't think we see the charger here, but then this was essentially an electric vehicle, right? So all the concept which you hear now in the market, solar power based charging stations, those are already done, tried, tested, and trusted in USA, right? It's only a matter of time where things get picked up here in India, right? This is something very similar to solar tile, right? So what happens in the countries outside India is that they essentially want their solar modules to be in sync, aesthetically in sync with your roof, right? They had gone to various module manufacturers, but none of them were able to provide them solutions. That's wherein they had come to Merlin. This was a specific glass to, I think this was a glass flexible module, what we call in terms of our self, where the module was completely similar to the roof. The module exactly took the shape of the roof, or it exactly looked like the roof, right? This is our GX series where we use 2 mm glass on top, right? This was all certified and all utilized properly. Right? You can install these modules even via the rails. We have back rails which come in. I think that is something which is not visible here. But then we have two back rails on the module, which are essentially stick or essentially fixed on the backside of the module. You can just you can fix those two back rails on the roof, and it's done, right? This can also be fixed with butyl, of course, right? So this is one of our prime installations what we have done in Himalaya. This is in Leh. This was a 5 kilowatt plant, and what I can tell you is this was, if I'm not mistaken, this was supplied to one of our defense bases where they were growing plants, they were growing vegetables for the utilization. And you can very well see, I mean, this was just a thin white or thin semi-transparent roof kind of material where Merlin modules can very well easily be, integrated with this kind of roofs, right? And this was essentially powering the battery backup, of course, which was able to both power the greenhouse, power the essential auxiliary power supplies as well, right? And this is one of my favorite slides. This is my personal favorite. This was again at Swaminarayan Temple in Tithal, again here in Gujarat. What makes this very special is that this was a kind of pandal or a kind of mandap, what we call here in India, where the religious functions were taking place in the temple, right? So what you can see is that this was a fiber cloth based roof, right? It is something very similar to regular fiber what you use in the construction material or in the construction field, right? Second challenge was that this was near the seashore, right? This is the Arabian Sea. So we really did not have a chance to play around with this roof shape, because we really did not want any aerodynamic upgradation of this roof, right? So you can very well see that Merlin modules were just fixed and stuck on this roof, right? We could not even imagine of utilizing any modules which is framed in nature, right? Because any framed module, as I told you, is 25, 30 odd kgs per meter square, 50 odd kgs per 2 meter square, making it virtually impossible, practically impossible to utilize this kind of modules, right? So we have stuck these modules. This is a 90 kilowatt plant. This is by far the biggest flexible installation of what at least we know, right? These are very well easy to maintain as well. There is no additional cleaning which is required or additional cleaning steps. What I mean to say, I mean the way you clean your regular modules is the similar way you clean your Merlin modules. You just do water wash and dry wash, of course, before sunrise or after sunset, as we tell you. So just the closing remarks. No constraint is a constraint with very flexible modules. I mean, you name the application, we have a solution which is readily available. If the solution is not readily available, we'll make sure that we have a solution which is made for you, right? So I think I have come to end of my presentation. I think now is the time for question and answers. What you can do, guys, is that we have a chat option. You can post all your questions if there are any at the chat section, and we would be more than happy to answer all your questions there.